This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Firefighters across the state gathered in Belfast today to join family and friends in celebrating the life of Searsmont Assistant Fire Chief Wayne Woodbury. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. His funeral service was held this afternoon at the Belfast Area High School. He was honored for his lifelong dedication to the fire service. Our Grace Blanchard has more.
Remembering the life and legacy of Wayne Woodbury.
His legacy lives on in the firefighters he influenced, the community he served, and the example that he set for generations to follow.
On June 14th, Assistant Searsmont Fire Chief Wayne Woodbury died at 76 years old from injuries he sustained while battling the Robbins lumber fire and explosion in Searsmont on May 15th. A procession was held for Woodbury the following day. On Wednesday, family, friends, and firefighters statewide came together to remember his life.
He was quiet, humble, and unassuming. But if you knew Wayne, you also knew that behind that quiet demeanor was someone you could always count on.
Wayne dedicated over 60 years to volunteering as a firefighter in both Belmont and Searsmont and was also a member of the Bath Iron Works Fire Brigade.
Wayne taught by example. His patience, wisdom, and calm presence helped shape generations of firefighters who are better because they had the opportunity to learn from him.
Maine State Fire Marshal Chief Sean Essler acknowledged how Maine's first responders have endured tremendous loss this year, with the deaths of Maine Game Warden Joshua Tibbetts, Morrill firefighter Andrew Cross, and now Wayne Woodbury.
He was injured doing what he had done for decades, standing shoulder to shoulder with his fellow firefighters and protecting his community.
Woodbury was remembered by friends as a lover of the outdoors, his 2 cats, and a gentle man who loved his family, friends, community, and Maine.
We are saddened for our loss of your passing, and you've enriched our lives through your friendship. You will be remembered, and you are loved.
In Belfast, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news tonight, a Bangor City Council member is facing criticism after walking out of a council meeting before several key votes. Our Alex Schley has more.
Bangor City Council member Carolyn Fish walked out of Monday night's City Council meeting. The move comes during a discussion about a proposed ICE ordinance that had been tabled for months. Fish left the chamber following a passionate public comment from Councilman Joe Leonard.
ICE is an organization right now that has a written memorandum of understanding where the now previous director told his ICE officers, you can just ignore the Fourth Amendment. That's unacceptable to me.
Leonard went on to say disparaging things about President Donald Trump. Councilmember Mike Beck says he did not hear Fish inform anyone she was leaving. Moments later, other members of the council appeared unsure of her whereabouts.
Just a point of order, I believe Councilor Fish had left the dais. I believe she has to return for the vote under the charter.
Just to return for a vote?
I don't know where she is or how to get her to return.
She's gone.
She's gone.
So.
In addition to the ICE ordinance, the council was also scheduled to vote on Bangor's finalized city budget. Councilmember Fish did not return for that vote either.
We're all coming with our own personal opinion. We all got elected by certain segments of the population, but we all serve all of Bangor. We can have the disagreements, but let's talk them out. Let's not do these protest walkouts, because again, people of Bangor counted on us to vote on that budget. It's the most important thing we do all year long. That was not the time to walk out.
We initially reached out to Fish Wednesday morning. She told us she was heading into a meeting but would be available later in the day to speak with our reporter. However, she did not return her call despite multiple attempts to reach her by phone, text message, and in person at her workplace. We were unable to obtain a comment. In Bangor, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Residents in Oakland are petitioning for an ordinance to help stabilize the rent for their mobile home lots. After collecting signatures which were rendered invalid due to unofficial paperwork, Rhonda West and other organizers gathered outside Dollar General to start their process over again in the hopes of gathering the 375 signatures needed in order to get a mobile home rent stabilization ordinance to a ballot vote. Since they received the correct documents, West and the organizers have been collecting signatures since Monday of last week and have accumulated over 300. Local mobile home owners like Jeremy Yeomans say that getting an ordinance on the ballot would be impactful for their long-term goals and stability.
It would actually put me in a position to where I could sell this trailer in a few years and get into a home. I mean, ultimately, that's everybody's dream, is their own house, their own land, you know? So I feel like that's my goal. I mean, pretty sure that's everybody's goal. Just want to be able to live and be happy, you know?
Oakland's Town Council is hosting a public hearing and first reading for the Health and Safety Mobile Home Ordinance on July 1st at 15 Fairfield Street. In other news tonight, a Bucksport woman was arrested and faces numerous charges after a traffic stop led to the seizure of a large quantity of drugs. On Monday morning, shortly after 6 o'clock, officers conducted a traffic stop on Route 1. Initially, 31-year-old Sarah Malta of Bucksport was arrested for operating after revocation. Bucksport police say Malta was found to be in possession of illegal drugs and paraphernalia. They say officers located methamphetamine, cocaine, and fentanyl on her person and inside the vehicle. While being processed at the Hancock County Jail, police say Malta was then found to be concealing suspected controlled substances within a body cavity. Sarah Malta faces a variety of drug-related and other charges. And the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help in identifying individuals they believe may be connected to recent burglaries in Herman. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office is investigating a burglary at 90 Diesel Shop Road in Herman. They say this location has been targeted repeatedly, with individuals breaking into the building and causing property damage. They say the most recent incident was late Saturday night. You can see the property's surveillance cameras captured several images of the alleged suspects in the latest break-in. If you have any information on who may be in these photos or the case itself, you are asked to contact the Sheriff's Office. And the Waterville Police Department is also asking for the public's help in this case in finding a missing man. Police say 54-year-old Eric Cullen was last seen leaving his home on June 1st. He hasn't been heard from since. If you have any information about his whereabouts, please contact the Waterville Police Department. Well, Maine's 70-year-old interstate is in need of work, but it's also a cornerstone of the state's transportation and economy. That's according to a report from TRIP, or National Transportation Research Nonprofit. Based on an analysis from the Texas Transportation Institute at Texas A&M University, Maine's interstate highway provides improved access and reduces congestion, annually reducing total vehicle delays by approximately 3.5 million hours and gasoline consumption by approximately 1 million gallons. It also found that from 2000 to 2024, travel on Maine's interstate system increased by 25%. Now, the report also said that our interstate ranked 5th in the country when it comes to having the greatest share of bridges in poor condition. West Virginia, New York, Massachusetts, Illinois, and Rhode Island beat Maine for that questionable distinction. Jake LaChance, the executive director of Maine Better Transportation, says, quote, "The TRIP report confirms what Maine drivers, businesses, and communities already know. Transportation infrastructure is not a luxury. It's the foundation of our economy," end quote. Well, switching gears now, the New Balance Foundation is giving $1 million to the Skowhegan River Project. It comes just as construction on Skowhegan's boardwalk is about to begin. Main Street Skowhegan Executive Director Christina Cannon says the money from New Balance is one of the largest gifts ever made toward the Skowhegan River Park vision. A public groundbreaking on the boardwalk will be held June 29th. Cannon said, quote, after nearly 3 decades of planning and community engagement, we're about to see the first physical pieces of the project take shape. At the same time, we're continuing to advance the next phases, from additional boardwalk infrastructure to the adjustable surf and kayak wave that will make Skowhegan a nationally recognized recreation destination. Exciting news there. The Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife would like to remind you that it's Pollinator Week. So here's the buzz on how to protect these crucial creatures. First, add native plants to your garden. A wide variety that blooms in spring, summer, and fall will support pollinators in each stage of their life cycles throughout the whole growing season. Second, mind your mowing practices, leaving some areas untouched, not mowing as often, and keeping your grass a little taller all serve to protect pollinator habitat. And finally, choose conservation. Supporting healthy populations of native wildlife like birds, bats, amphibians, and dragonflies can reduce reliance on pesticides that can harm pollinators. Even a small patch of habitat makes a big difference for pollinating bees, butterflies, birds, and more. Translation, respect the pollinators. Alrighty, folks, let's pause now, peek outside, and get a first look at our forecast.
All right, thank you. Yeah, well, we had a much better day today than we did yesterday. Much warmer out there. Our temperatures are back into the mid to upper 70s for many of us. Some spots still in those lower 70s. Still very nice out there for us temperature-wise. Temperatures are going to be nice for us once again tomorrow. We'll be back in the mid to upper 70s for us. Another very warm day for us. Now, we did have some showers and thunderstorms. They are going through right now, and those are scattered, so there definitely is going to be dry points. Definitely don't cancel your plans tonight, but we will have those move out of our region overnight tonight, making some clouds for us for tomorrow, and then we have more showers and thunderstorms for us for our Thursday night. For tonight, though, temperatures aren't looking too bad out there, with them falling only into the upper 50s.
Coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, we'll take a look at national headlines, including the trial of the person accused of setting one of the most destructive wildfires in California history. Stay tuned.
Graham Plattner blamed women for getting raped. Who says something like that? Plattner said women should take some responsibility for themselves and not get so effed up they wind up having sex with someone they don't mean to. What's wrong with this guy?
Plattner said to avoid rape, women should act like an adult for F's sake. He's an awful person.
Graham Plattner is dangerous.
I would never vote for Graham Plattner.
Pine Tree Results PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Are you experiencing foot pain? Comfort Shoes & More has a team of experts trained in podorthics to help you find relief. They offer tailored fittings, shoe modifications, customized orthotics, and much more for the ordinary or the hard-to-fit foot. Discover the latest in functional and fashionable footwear for men and women from today's top brands: Hoka, Brooks, Keen, Merrell, and Ariat. From running to walking, casual or dress, they have it all. Take the drive to Newport for a sit-and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
Webb's RV Center has a 4-acre lot with over 75 previously owned campers all on sale, plus another 4 acres of new RVs and motorhomes. Webb's RV will take anything in trade. You can buy a camper anywhere, but be sure to buy your next camper at your local neighbor. A website can't service your RV, but Webb's RV will, and they have the biggest service department in the state of Maine to help you enjoy your RV or motorhome.
So come on down, neighbor. The coffee pot's on and the pencil is sharp.
Do you take propane tank?
Anything goes.
How about cardboard?
Anything goes.
How about old rug?
Yeah, anything goes.
So this too?
Furniture removal, basements, garages, attics, hoarder houses. It doesn't matter here at Anything Goes Junk Removal. Anything goes. Well, almost anything.
Maine's farms are being sold to China. Chinese criminal networks are infiltrating rural Maine. But Senator Susan Collins is fighting back. Susan Collins voted to stop China from buying up our farmland. And Collins is helping to crack down on Chinese organized crime. Collins delivered millions in more resources for local law enforcement, protecting our families, our farms, and bringing big money back home to Maine. Call and tell Senator Susan Collins to keep protecting rural Maine.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Just before meeting with Senate Republicans, the president announced he was not signing a big bipartisan housing bill into law. ABC's Michelle Franson has more.
Today on Capitol Hill, a working lunch between President Trump and Senate Republicans turning tense. According to multiple sources, Senator Bill Cassidy and the president clashed at one point, with other senators trying to ease tensions.
We're very proud of the party. We like our leader. We like everybody really in the room. I don't like a few people, but that's okay. For the most part, we have a really well-unified party.
The agenda was aimed at prioritizing GOP achievements and campaign talking points ahead of the midterm elections. Before the luncheon, everything was set for the president to sign the bipartisan housing bill into law. But then the president posted on social media he would not be signing the bill until Congress passed the Save America Act, which would require proof of citizenship before registering to vote. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer criticized President Trump.
How does the SAVE Act lower American people's housing costs? It doesn't. How does the SAVE Act do anything good? It doesn't. It's a vicious, nasty piece of material.
House Speaker Mike Johnson remained confident the delay was temporary and anticipates it will be signed in the next 10 days.
He has expressed the priority and the preference of the Save America Act. We share that. We passed it 3 times in the House.
The housing bill would increase the nation's housing supply and also reduce red tape for home buyers, and higher mortgage rates, along with low inventory, has been dragging on the housing market. Michelle Franson, ABC News, New York.
It became one of the most destructive wildfires in California history. Almost 24,000 acres scorched, homes and lives destroyed. Now jury deliberations are underway in the landmark arson case. Prosecutors say Jonathan Rinder-Knecht ignited a small brush fire on New Year's Eve 2024 that days later grew into the massive blaze that destroyed thousands of homes and buildings in the Palisades neighborhood and killed 12 people. Rinder-Knecht denies that he started the fire. If found guilty, he faces up to 45 years in prison. And folks, we have much more ahead, including sports and your forecast. Stay with us.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda. Named 2026 Kelley Blue Book Best Value Brand. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Critical investments are strengthening Maine, thanks to Senator Susan Collins. The biggest investment in our rural hospitals in decades. New investments for working waterfronts, like the breakwater in Eastport. Investments to help homeless veterans find housing. Investments for Maine to train new doctors and nurses. Thousands of investments, thanks to the power of Senator Susan Collins. Call Senator Collins and ask her to keep delivering for Maine.
If you've been injured in a motorcycle wreck, call 855-IRON LAW today. Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers. We protect our own.
250 years ago, America found a reason to come together. Generation after generation, Phantom Fireworks has been part of that tradition. Phantom Fireworks, lighting up backyards of America from coast to coast. Visit fireworks.com for a retail location near you.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda. Named 2026 Kelley Blue Book Best Performance Brand. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Welcome back in, folks. Tuesday night was an exciting one for Boston fans. The NBA draft took place and the Celtics welcomed the newest addition to their team. With the 27th overall pick, in the first round of Tuesday's draft, the Boston Celtics selected forward Chris Sanak Jr. out of the University of Houston. The 6'11", 240-pound center is just 19 years old and only played 1 year of collegiate basketball before turning to the pros. In his one season with the Cougars, he averaged nearly 10 points and 8 rebounds per game and shot 50% from the field. He was a huge contributor to Houston's run to the Sweet 16 before being eliminated by Illinois. The Celtics president of basketball operations says the choice to select Sanak was based on the raw talent he has and the energy he can bring to the building.
Well, he's just a good young player, energetic, plays hard, excellent athlete, long, fits a position of need. Some things that we were a little short on this year from an athletic perspective. He's a good worker. He's a good person. And he's got a lot to learn, but we're excited about starting that process with him.
Let's stick with the Celtics and take a deeper dive into the Jaylen Brown situation. For those of you who don't know, the Celtics were heavily involved in the Giannis Antetokounmpo sweepstakes before he was traded to the Miami Heat on Monday night. Acquiring a player of his caliber demands a high price, of course, and it has been rumored the Celtics were prepared to offer their own superstar Jaylen Brown as part of the trade package needed to bring Giannis to Boston. Now that the trade to Miami has been confirmed, there's been a lot of speculation surrounding Brown's future with the Celtics. Brown is currently on a 5-year, $304 million Supermax contract with the Celtics that runs through the 2028-29 season, but talks of a trade out of Boston have been stirring after Tuesday's draft. Brad Stevens was asked about Jaylen's future with the team.
Jaylen Brown's a big part of us. I'm never gonna predict the future, but every indication, everything that I think about is over the past few years has been building around those guys, right? And so obviously you never know, but at the same time, I think the one thing I want to make very clear is how valued he's always been.
We'll have more for you later on. For now, that's all the time we have for sports. Here is your full 5-day forecast.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Rogan's Memorials. Give the gift of comfort through thoughtful planning with locations in Bangor, Bucksport, and Lincoln. Now taking a look at those temperatures out there, it was a much better day than we had yesterday. We were finally back into the upper 70s, some spots even those low 80s. Other spots were still a bit cool in those low 70s, but still very nice out there temperature-wise compared to we were at yesterday. Very similar for us tomorrow, back into those mid to upper 70s for us in many different spots. And then we are looking at that continuing on for us into our Friday. Now this is what we're looking at. Tomorrow is going to be another warm one. Friday, we will still have nice temperatures. However, it will be cooler for us with a cold front coming through, bringing us some showers and thunderstorms. Then Saturday, we're back up into the upper 70s, and then we're kind of hanging out in those low 80s for the next few days after that. Now, we are also having some breeziness out there for us today. The wind gusts are between 10 to 15 miles per hour, and we know what it means. It's going to go calm tonight, which means there's going to be that chance for some dense fog tonight. Wind gusts pick up again tomorrow throughout much of the day for us as well. Now also, I brought up some showers and thunderstorms for us on Friday. We have to get through what's out there right now first. This is what's out there right now. We are looking at some showers and thunderstorms making their way through the state. These are scattered, so there is dry spots, so definitely don't cancel your plans for tonight. We are looking at this going to circle around us, and we also have some more weather over by Michigan that is starting to come our way. This is going to come our way, and we will have more showers and thunderstorms. So the showers and thunderstorms we're dealing with right now are moving out of the state. We are going to have some cloudy to clear skies for us tonight with some dense fog as well. For tomorrow, will be dry for us for in the morning hours. Tomorrow afternoon, we are dealing with some scattered showers and thunderstorms, and then they become more and more scattered showers and thunderstorms for us, becoming more heavy rainfall with that as well. Moving through for us through much of our Friday for us. Now we are going to also see some rainfall with this as well. Some people can see a ½ an inch or more of rainfall from this. Locally heavy rainfall is possible. For tonight, temperatures in those mid-50s with some partly cloudy skies, and those temperatures are going to meet those dew points, which means there is chance for some dense fog. Now for tomorrow, temperatures back into those low 80s for us with some partly cloudy skies, and we will have those thunderstorms moving in. Take a look at your extended forecast. Thunderstorm chances sneak back into the area for us tomorrow evening into our Friday, bring along a cold front and cooling temperatures down back to the upper 60s. Then we got some warm up on the way with more sunshine.
Thank you, Anna, and we have still more to come after the break.
Starting in May 2026, Maine Paid Family and Medical Leave gives eligible workers up to 12 weeks to take the time needed for parental and family care, medical, military family, and safe leave. With partial wage replacement, your income stays protected, giving you peace of mind. Leave is flexible, portable, and available to self-employed Mainers who elect coverage. Maine Paid Family and Medical Leave. It's how we care. It's who we are. Benefits begin May 2026. Learn more at maine.gov/paid leave.
I served 2 tours in the Middle East, 21 years in the Air Force.
I served in a field artillery unit.
The Maine National Guard. I respect Graham Plattner's service, but he doesn't respect ours.
Plattner falsely accused a military hero of war crimes.
He said a Purple Heart recipient didn't deserve to live after being shot, trying to save his own troops.
And Plattner blames his Nazi tattoo on military culture? That's insulting. Graham Plattner's a fraud. He's unfit to represent Maine.
Pine Tree Results PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
My name is Kate Ray. I'm 21 years old from Norway, Maine, racing here at Oxford Plains Speedway with the Super Late Models. I'd like to thank the law offices of Joe Bornstein for joining my crew. Over 25,000 victories for injured Mainers. That's a lot of checkered flags. After an accident, Joe Bornstein's office can help you get back on track. Fueled by justice, driven by results. Call the experts. Call Joe and tell them you mean business. Accidents happen to be their specialty.
T-Mobile has the best network. That's why there's no better place to get iPhone 17 Pro on them. Hold on. Is this big enough? We should have music, lights, banners. I mean, you gotta feel it. Get the most powerful iPhone ever on the best network. I sure dance.
This is big. At T-Mobile, get the incredible iPhone 17 Pro on us, on the best network.
I'm gonna do a flip. Nailed it.
Hi, I'm Tony with TC Hafford Basement Systems. All things basementy. Is your foundation shifting, settling, or cracking? Don't wait till it's too late. We offer the most reliable solutions to lift and stabilize your sinking foundation. With our advanced piering techniques, we'll ensure your home is back on solid ground. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
Finally tonight, people who stopped by one of Governor's restaurant's 6 locations today were treated to a Maine staple at a fair price. As our Doug Banks reports, employees have been on a roll for the past 5 days, prepping to ensure their annual Lobster Roll Day is met with excitement and familiarity.
It's a perfect treat on a Maine summer day.
Whether they were guests, regulars, locals, or visitors, and whether they dined in, walked up, or drove through, each were all treated to a state staple, as Governor's Restaurant held its annual Lobster Roll Day.
This is just the best day ever. I love it.
At around this time for the past 17 years, the Maine restaurant has dished out well-priced lobster rolls to honor its founding.
June 3rd, actually, 1959, Governor's was founded right here in Old Town. We started doing this when we turned 50. and we've done this every year since.
To celebrate 67 years of being a state institution, lobster rolls on Wednesday were sold at $11.67.
We look forward to this day all month.
They estimate roughly 20,000 pounds of lobster will be packed into their famous hot dog rolls.
Bigger than a regular Frankfurter roll that you might get at the grocery store.
Across 6 locations.
All the way from Presque Isle to Lewiston.
All day.
Until we sell out. We will sell out in most locations.
Making it one of their busiest and funnest days of the year.
I hope they see how well we work together and how the community can come together on a day like this.
In Old Town, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
I'm surprised it's not a state holiday yet. Alrighty, folks, that is going to do it for us. From everyone here at ABC 7 News, take care and have a great rest of your night. We'll see you right back here at 11.
Tonight, the Heat Dome in Red